Now, what is holophonics? Italian researcher Hugo Zuccalli recently extended the holographic model into the world of acoustic phenomena. Puzzled by the fact that the humans can locate the source of sound without moving their head, even if they only possesses hearing in one ear, Zuccalli discovered that the holographic principle can explain this ability. Zuccalli has also developed the technology of holographic sound, a recording technique able to reproduce acoustic situations with an almost uncanny realism. Pribram believes that our brains mathematically construct hard reality by relying on input from a frequency domain has also received a good deal of experimental support. It has been found that each of our senses is sensitive to a much broader range of frequencies than was previously suspected. Researchers have discovered, for instance, that our visual systems are sensitive to sound frequencies, that our sense of smell is in part dependent on what are now called cosmic frequencies, and that even the cells in our bodies are sensitive to a broader range of frequencies. Such findings suggests that it is only in the holographic domain of consciousness that such frequencies are sorted out and divided up into conventional perceptions. But the most mind-boggling aspects of Pribram's holographic model of the brain is what happens when it is put together with Bohm's theory. For the concreteness of the world is but a secondary reality, and what is there is actually a holographic blur of frequencies, and if the brain is also a hologram and only selects some of the frequencies out of this blur, and mathematically transform them into sensory perceptions, what becomes of objective reality? Put quite simple, it ceases to exist. As the religions of the East have long upheld, the material world is Maya, an illusion, and although we may think we are physically being moving through a physical world, this too is an illusion. We are really receivers floating into the kaleidoscopic sea of frequencies, and what we extract from this sea and transmorgify into physical reality is but one channel from an extracted out of the super hologram. This striking new picture of reality, the synthesis of Bohm's and Pribram's views, has come to be called the holographic paradigm. And although many scientists have greeted with it with skepticism, it has galvanized others. A small but growing group of researchers believe it may be the most accurate model of reality science has ever arrived at thus far. More than that, some believe it may solve some mysteries that have never before been explainable by science and even establish the paranormal as a part of the nature. Numerous researchers, including Bohm and Prebaum, have noted that many parapsychological phenomena become much more understandable in terms of holographic paradigm. In a universe in which individual brains are actually individual portions of the greater hologram and everything is infinitely connected, telepathy may merely be the accessing of the holographic level. It is obviously much easier to understand how information can travel from the mind of individual A to that of the individual B at a far distant point and helps us to understand number of unsolved puzzles in psychology. In particular, Stanislav Grof feels the holographic paradigm offers a model for understanding many of the baffling phenomena experienced by individuals during altered states of consciousness. In the 1950s, while conducting research into the beliefs of LSD as a psychotherapeutic tool, Groff had one female patient who suddenly became convinced she had assumed the identity of a female of a species of prehistoric reptile. During the course of her hallucination, she not only gave a richly detailed description of what it felt like to be encapsulated in such a form, but noted that the portion of the male of the species anatomy was a patch of colored scales on the side of its head. What was startling to Groff was that although the woman has no prior knowledge about such things, a conversation with a geologist later confirmed that in certain species of reptiles, colored areas on the head do indeed play an important role as triggers of sexual arousal. The woman's experience was not unique. During the course of his research, Groff encountered examples of patients regressing and identifying with virtually every species on the evolutionary tree. Research